Hey guys, I finally got the opportunity to watch New Japan Wrestling Kingdom 14, Night 1. Gotta say, great in-ring wrestling action, especially with all the World Championship matches, which is the only thing I did watch since I could only watch it on demand, and I couldn't watch it live because it was way too fucking late. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. The event went on for almost over 5 fucking hours. There was no way I was gonna watch that. So I took the opportunity to just watch it on my own free time, own free opportunity, whatever the fucking case may be. It's late. I'm trying to fucking spiel this shit out to you guys, tell you what my thoughts were on the show. Overall, it was a very solid, entertaining show. Uh, I personally want to rant a little bit about this. I thought it was a little bit of a bullshit story to not give the world title to Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi is one of their top performers. Never got an opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship. He fought his ass off in that main event against Okada, and Okada again is still the World Heavyweight Champion. I understand he is a great champion. I am not discrediting him. For anyone that follows New Japan Wrestling or is familiar with New Japan Wrestling, Okada is one of the best. I will give him that. He deserves that credibility from me. But the problem is that he's old news. He's a guy that he's done enough in this business. He doesn't need to do anything here. This was an opportunity to give the title to Ibushi, face Naito in the main event of night 2 with both championships on the line, and go one-on-one to unify the championship, and Ibushi getting that win. I think that would have been the better choice. Now, Naito actually won the IWGP Intercontinental Championship from Jay White. I'm okay with that idea. Jay White is definitely a guy who's still young, doesn't need to be placed in that kind of situation yet. But, and Naito trying to go after the World Heavyweight title while being the Intercontinental Champion, I'm all for that idea because of the fact that he's the one, beginning of 2019, who initiated the idea of the him owning both the Intercontinental and the World Heavyweight Championship. So I was okay with him winning the IC Championship from Jay White, even though I'm a big fan of his. Jay White losing to Naito wasn't that big of a deal to me. But Ibushi, I have a problem losing to Okada. I think that was bullshit, and I don't think that should have happened. But hey, that's just my opinion. But I feel that was a wrong choice by New Japan Wrestling on their booking of these matches. Overall, though, the rest of the matches that I watched, which was 5 matches overall, all championship matches, of course, they were pretty solid. They weren't that bad, and they were great action near the end of the show, especially the last 3 matches with the junior heavyweight, the heavyweight championship, and the Intercontinental title matches. Those matches were awesome. I'll give them credit for that. Now, let's get into the very first match that I watched, which was the IWGP Tag Team Championships. The IWGP Tag Team Championships changing hands from GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, which is Tamatonga and Tamatonga, losing to David Finlay and Juice Robinson, I think was a bad decision as well. Why are you going to have Juice Robinson beat with David Finlay against the GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, which is a good tag team in their tag team division, and have been good. They've defended those tag team titles like crazy, and have yet to lose up till last night those tag team titles. So that was to me a little bit weird. When then later on you hear that he would be challenging for the U.S. Championship on night 2. I mean, he's going to be a double champion. I think that's kind of sucks. But whatever. This matchup wasn't bad. It was average. It was a 3 out of 5 stars. I'll give it. Nothing spectacular really came out of the match. There was some really great transitions in the matchup itself. But would I say that this was a 5-star classic tag team match? Absolutely not. But good match overall. The next match was the Texas Death Match between Lance Archer and Jon Moxley. Now, Jon Moxley, as you all may know, if you're familiar with this, is Jon Moxley was the former IWGP US Heavyweight Champion, and he never lost the title. He was stripped of the belt because of traveling complications and just major issues with him showing up and defending the title. So he was stripped of the belt, and Lance Archer won the vacated championship. He has since then has defended the title a couple of times, and now he had the opportunity to defend it against the former champion, who walked into this match defeating him. And may I add, in very interesting fashion. So, Jon Moxley won this matchup by a knockout. That's generally how this matchup is supposed to be won, either by submission or the count of 10, with your opponent not being able to answer the count of 10. This match was okay. I think it was solid action overall. The ending of this was a paradigm shift on the side of the ring, and him being able to pile drive Lance Archer right through the tables that were set outside the ring. So he did a paradigm shift right through the tables. From there, he got back up before the count of 10. Jon Moxley, Lance Archer was bleeding all over the place. He had a severe cut somewhere on his back or the back of his arms. And he was just bleeding all over. There was some of his blood on Jon Moxley as well, which I thought was his own blood. And Jon Moxley got a kind of a bad cut on his back, which you could clearly see when he turns around after the match was over. He talks about his matchup with Juice Robinson for night 2 and kind of spills what he's feeling about all that. So that was pretty much all that happened in that matchup. The match overall was just your generic hardcore wrestling stuff. Chairs being used, kendo sticks, so forth and so on. This match I'll definitely give a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think this was a very decent hardcore last man standing type style matchup. So I have no complaints on this one. Jon Moxley winning the U.S. Championship, I think that's kind of interesting. That may throw a little bit of a curveball to everybody. Maybe some people are expecting Jon Moxley to retain the title, and they may just put the title on Juice Robinson anyway. Just to swerve people a little bit and just make it a little bit unpredictable. I think that would be a good idea, which I'm pretty certain that will happen because of the fact that Jon Moxley did not really... Jon Moxley is in the midst of his own storyline in AEW, so him going ahead and keeping that title, I think, may bring some complications of him being the U.S. champion for New Japan Wrestling, but that we'll have to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and watch that event as soon as I wake up tomorrow, so I can do this review a little bit earlier in the day than doing this as late as at night like I'm doing right now. But anyway, this matchup, again, like I said, was a good, solid, hardcore last man standing match, whichever way you want to look at it, type of match. Very good work by both men. So no complaints there. Now, we go to Will Ospreay going up against Hiroshio Takashi, Horatio Takahashi, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He actually was the one who took the title off of Will Ospreay a while ago. It was about last year, in last year's Wrestle Kingdom, I believe that was. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I am, please mention in the comments down below if you're familiar with New Japan Wrestling history. But I believe it was last year's Wrestle Kingdom. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know it was sometime last year or in 2018, late 2018. He actually won the title from Will Ospreay and then got injured and had to be stripped of the title because he couldn't defend it. Well, in this match, he comes back hot and heavier than ever. This match was solid as fuck. I give this match a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was a fucking awesome match. Very good work by both men. One of the spots of this, which I'm giving as spot of the night, Will Ospreay and Takahashi are countering each other's moves, and they're going back and forth, countering one another's moves, and then at some point, Will Ospreay manages to get Takahashi out on the outside of the ring, and he's on the floor. So he goes ahead and he tries to do a flip maneuver out to the outside of the ring. He gets caught by Takahashi, and he delivers a German suplex to Will Ospreay. You think it stops there. Oh no. He goes ahead and tries to take Will Ospreay and throw him into the end of the ring, and instead Will Ospreay jumps into the ring, runs to the ropes, does a a gymnastics move, backflip, and then flips over the ropes and nails Takahashi, and that's the end of that spot. And my God, what the fuck was I watching? That was the most insane shit I have ever seen in my life. Seth Rollins, you like to shoot shit at Will Ospreay. I've heard him I've read the dirt sheets and shit. Seth Rollins talking shit to Will Ospreay about garbage, about saying, oh, well, look at us. We're great wrestlers. We're better than you guys, blah, blah, blah. Shooting bullshit at Will Ospreay when Will Ospreay is putting on unbelievable performances, and he ain't even the fucking main event. This guy is fucking unreal. Anybody that gets him outside of New Japan Wrestling has just won a fucking gold mine. This guy is unbelievable. He is the fucking bee's knees of professional wrestling right now. I mean, there's so many great wrestlers, but he is one of the top-notch wrestlers in the business. This guy is doing everything humanly possible outside of killing himself to put on a good show for people. And even that, I think he might be doing, is killing himself for just our own personal entertainment. Unbelievable action. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Tanakashi is the one that I forgot to pronounce his last name. I apologize, guys. But if you go back and you see that on Wrestle Kingdom 14, Night 1, you'll see what his name was. And if you guys want to go ahead and try to catch it on New Japan Wrestling World, I would definitely recommend it. The whole entire event, all the championship matches, I would catch them. I didn't really care to watch the 8-man tag team matches, the first 3 of them. To me, it's not any storyline build. There's no importance to them. It just to fill in time, number 1, and number 2, to get other guys that haven't got an opportunity to have a singles match on the card to begin with. So that's pretty much the purpose of that. From there, we had Jay White defend the IWGP Intercontinental Championship against Naito. Now, Naito, he, like I said, I'm okay with Jay White losing to Naito. Jay White's 27 years old. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's got charisma up the wazoo. He's a great heel. But MJF, I'm going to say, is a better heel than he is. But Jay White's a good talent. And I'll tell you what, the one place he would fit well in is AEW. I would love to see Jay White in AEW. If he was not to wrestle in New Japan Wrestling and he went off to the United States to perform, AEW would be the place. WWE would destroy that son of a bitch. Unless he works for NXT. If he works in NXT, that's one thing. But I don't see him staying in that kind of environment. I imagine him being in venues where there's 10 to 15,000 fans watching him perform in front of them. So I don't particularly see that happening with him going to fucking NXT forever. I don't see him doing that for a long period of time. But him being in WWE, I think would be a fucking lost cause for him. He should never get involved with WWE. I don't think until this company, WWE, and I know I'm going off basis here, WWE is off its rails. I know I'm going to see WrestleMania 36, and you may be asking me, okay, why are you talking shit about WWE if you're going to see WrestleMania 36? It's real simple. This fucking company doesn't know what the hell it wants to do with itself. This company, New Japan Wrestling, knows where they're going. They plan things out. They had this idea planted about crowning a first ever unified Intercontinental and World Heavyweight Champion in February of 2019. Now, if that's not planning to you, what is? They planned that out in 10 months in advance almost. I don't see that as not planning. I'm sorry. They have planned everything for this event to be a 2-night show. They set up the tools. They set up everything else. They did what I expected them to do. Now, the people they chose, okay, fine, whatever. My opinion may not match with what they decided to go with, but oh well. They did deliver one thing, and that is fucking wrestling, people. This match, Jay White versus Naito for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Good action, hard work by both men. Jay White performed the heel tactics perfectly with Gato, and they did an awesome job together. Naito, he performed well as a face/heel, whatever way you want to look at him. He's spitting on his opponent. That is not exactly a face-type tactic, in my opinion. But then again, he could be looked at as an anti-hero. But there's a small problem with New Japan Wrestling. I don't understand Japanese, and they don't provide subtitles for English people. People who speak English. So that kind of hurts. Some of the connection that you get with the show. So that's the one thing I dislike about New Japan Wrestling. That's why I don't review it as much as I would if I understood what the fuck they were talking about. Give me some subtitles in some way, shape, or form. I understand, yes, I know. The announcers do translate what they're saying during their promos, but they do not provide subtitles during the promo video packages leading up to the event. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That kind of hurts the viewer who doesn't understand Japanese. Now you could tell me, hey, why don't you go learn Japanese? I've thought about it. Anyway. This match was good. It was fun. Is it something I would go back and watch? Probably not. But was it good? No doubt. Most definitely. Naito wins the championship and becomes the Intercontinental Champion. Now we move on to the World Heavyweight title. This match, I was pissed. I don't care how great it was, because it was fucking great. This was fucking awesome. It was the most delightful match to fucking watch, and yet it was the most bitter tasting match to watch either, as well. It was a bitter thing to watch, just to see the ending. The match itself, fucking unbelievable. But my guy that I wanted to see win, which was Kota Ibushi, beating Okada, that's what I wanted to see. Did not happen. That bums me out a little bit. But bottom line, I had no issues with the match. The match was a superb match. This match was the match of the night. Unfortunately, it was not the Junior Heavyweight Championship match. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. Yes, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars, even though I didn't like the result of the match. But it doesn't matter what I like about the result of the match. It matters what they did in the ring. They told a story. They were stiff in the ring. Okada was taking a bunch of fucking punches to the face. And they were connecting. They weren't fake. They weren't bullshit. He was hitting them, not full force, but he was hitting them with a good enough amount of force, is what I could say. And they just went all out crazy. And this match was not predictable. They did for a moment make me believe that Ibushi was going to win the match. But after he kicked out of the V-trigger, that's when I knew Okada was going to pick up the Rainmaker, hit him with that clothesline, and end it all. And it took several different Rainmakers to put him out of his misery. And finally, it did, and that was the match, and it was over. But even though my guy lost, I'm still saying this. That was the match of the night. I was going holy shit throughout most of that match. That was a fucking brutal, stiff match. Most definitely. So, the last reward I'm giving to this pay-per-view, because this is my rewards I give out for each and every pay-per-view I review. I've just started this back in November. I have a spot of the night, which I already mentioned, the Junior Heavyweight Championship match. The match of the night, which was the Heavyweight Championship match. And then is the moment of the night. The moment of the night was when the IWGP Heavyweight Champion and the IWGP Intercontinental Champion stood in the ring, stared down, and both raised their championships up in the air. That was fucking memorable. Not to mention, Naito mentioned 2 years ago, saying that Okada said he should never have been in a main event match. And how does he think he can even stand a chance of beating Okada? Well, folks, I'm going to say this. Naito is beating Okada at Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. I am saying that. If it don't happen, I'm done watching New Japan Wrestling. Because bottom line, this is bullshit. Okada shouldn't be champion anymore. He's done enough as a champion. He has held this company on his back. It's time to let somebody else take the reins for a while. This guy is becoming like John Cena of New Japan Wrestling. It's fucking sick. And I like Okada. I have nothing against Okada. It's just, it's time to move on. It's time to give somebody else an opportunity to work as the main star of this company and carry the load themselves as well. Enough with Okada carrying the load. He is not the guy that you need anymore. You need to start building other stars. Naito hasn't had that opportunity like Okada has had. Give him that chance. See where he goes with it. See how well he does. If he's producing 5-star matches like Okada has, by all means, keep him in the World Championship run for a while. If not, find a young, talented replacement for that spot. Not Okada. And Tanahashi, leave that be. If Tanahashi beats Jericho, I'm not going to stop watching New Japan Wrestling, but it's not going to make me happy to see Tanahashi beat Chris Jericho while Jericho's in the middle of a build with Jon Moxley for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry. I don't like the idea. It breaks everything up. It loses its momentum for Jon Moxley, and it hurts Jon Moxley on AEW. I don't like that idea whatsoever. I think that's bullshit. And you're talking about the lead up towards AEW Revolution. I'm sorry, you don't do that. Now, if they plan on doing it after, like the Dynamite, the episode of Dynamite after that pay-per-view, which actually wouldn't be able to work because I'm hoping Jon Moxley wins the damn belt from Jericho because Jericho needs to lose already. He's not a proven champion anymore. His championship run has been very, I'm not going to say bad because his gimmick is great, but his in-ring wrestling with his opponents, he looks like a fucking pathetic loser who always needs to cheat to win. He's always got Jake Hager trying to interfere. So, there you go. I got a rant for a little bit of everything. WWE, New Japan Wrestling, AEW. I got all three of the best in the mix. Well, WWE, not really the best, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I have so much to offer to you guys. I provide as many videos as possible. I mean, I'm going ahead and watching wrestling events out the ass and trying to review them as much as I possibly can while I'm moving in 2 weeks. So I've been packing, I've been watching wrestling, and providing as many reviews as possible. I know I didn't review NWA yet for National Wrestling Alliance fans who actually tune into this channel for that. I do apologize. I'm going to upload that video for January 1st on Monday. I will watch that and I will review it for you guys. It's only an hour long, so I will take the opportunity to watch that, review it, and then on Tuesday night you'll get your the up-to-date episode review on that as well, so I'm all caught up on my reviews on NWA. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. And, of course, as always, leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you on that as well. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. Bye.